Check, check, check. Always wanted to do that. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is the operational briefing for the night shift, August 6th through 7, 1900 hours through 0700 hours. First of all, I'd like you all to make sure we're properly social distancing, and you'll hear a little bit more about COVID this evening, and silence your radios, cell phones, etc. We'll try to get you out here in 20 minutes or less if we can. So let's start with current situational briefing from day ops.
So everything was nice and quiet out there today, thanks to the inversion layer. Division Alpha and Bravo, they did a really good job, got it all mopped up and secured in there. Really good job cleaning that up. They're mopping up about 300 feet in. Division Charlie, they were able to improve the line that they got going from Bravo going east, and then on the eastern end of Division Charlie, they were improving their line, and they did a really good job holding that piece over there. And they continued in, the crews continued on down into the drainage and tied in with Division Yankee. And that's where the crews are engaging right now, trying to get that corner up there, the western corner of Yankee and the eastern part of Division Charlie. Down on the bottom on Division Zulu, the western end of Zulu's looking really good. The crews tied in some dozer line down there in the bottom part, and the only real heat is right on the eastern finger of Division Zulu, where it starts to turn that corner over there, and helicopters are keeping that in check, and the dozers are working around it right now. But thanks to the inversion layer holding in place, the fire did not get up and go like it did yesterday afternoon. Today you should be handed a little bit neater package tonight.
Okay, I want to point out some changes to the incident objectives. They're up here posted on the wall. You have them in your IAP. The one that's been added since yesterday was the one that says exercise both organizational and personal responsibility as it relates to COVID-19 CDC guidelines. There are elements in your IAP that speak to that. It talks about personal or crew evaluations. We want to do that. Pay close attention to that. It's been added as a management objective by the ICs, and that was the change over yesterday's objectives. With that, we'll move to a weather forecast.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I've never done a big briefing like this with a mask on, so hopefully you can understand me. Anyway, for tonight, we had the inversion that held in tight today. You know, I don't just point this thing up. Am I allowed to touch this? Oh. No, nobody. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, the inversion held in today, so what we can expect tonight, going into last night's shift, you had a whole lot of wind coming through with a trough. Tonight we don't have that. So tonight, as we go through the evening hours, we're just going to have the up canyon winds that we currently have blowing. They're gonna switch over to down canyon after around 2200 to 2300 tonight. So expect overnight the winds just to switch around the downslope down canyon after around midnight. We are starting out with humidities about 20% higher than they were last night, so that's a great thing. Last night humidities are running around 15-20% most places. Tonight some of the locations are in the 35 and 40% range right now, so good recovery tonight. That ought to help you when you're out there too. But that's your big weather for tonight. Less wind, terrain driven, more humidity, great recovery tonight. So that's your weather. Thank you. No, don't touch it.
And this guy's pretty tall too. All right, fire behavior.
Good evening, everybody. Nick Elmquist, Fire Behavior Analyst for Team 15. All the things you've heard so far kind of point to a less active night. Yesterday we had that big push. It burned hot. It left some good black, and you guys did a lot of really good work last night to set day shift up for success. Luckily, that inversion stayed in. Came in around 5 in the morning. You can see it on the camera on the up at Breckenridge, and pretty much put a lid on it, and the lid pretty much stayed all day. So we don't anticipate a whole lot of fire behavior. We were able to fly it early this morning. Your guys' ridge out in Yankee looks really good, and the crews that have been working in there are doing a really good job. There is still a corner on that southeast corner over by Bear Trap Canyons. There's a couple spur canyons as you work east to Thompson Canyon, and there is a little bit of alignment with some heat out in those canyons, some thick fuels. Hopefully the crews in the next day or two will be able to get around it, but there is some potential there. Just asking you guys, if you take some weather obs when you come in the morning, if you could come and drop them off, we'll appreciate that. There's not a whole lot of RAWs in the area, so we'll use that intel to dial in a better forecast for you. You guys stay safe out there.
All right, operational assignments, and listen up, there may be some changes, so ops.
Hey, good evening, guys. My name's Scott Grassmick, planning ops trainee. There is going to be some changes in the night assignments in the IAP. There's going to be some scratches, so I'm asking the divisions when you get in your breakouts to please reconcile your resources and then tie in with planning ops before you guys leave. That'll make the changes better. I'd like to introduce Bill Stairs, night ops. For Alpha Bravo, Montano. Charlie Totoshini, and he's currently out on the line. Yankee McDonald and Steedley Zulu. Okay. For tonight's plan, it's gonna be tying in with the other the day resources and picking up where they left off, going direct where we can and safely. I'd also like to thank you guys all for the hard work last night and the day resources today for what they did. It doesn't show on this map currently, but we're going to actually have a pretty good chunk of black on the map tomorrow. So thank you for all the hard work, and you guys have a safe shift. Thank you.
Okay, just to reiterate, in that divisional breakout, you're going to see some changes to the 204, so make sure you get there early and pay attention to that, sit through that. And now air operations.
Good evening, John Crowdy, Air Operations Team 15. Just on the what if factor, what we saw yesterday, we prepped and had the night air attack ordered for you again tonight. He'll be over the fire 2000. 408 is postured for medevac, hoist, and water dropping if needed again. So have a safe shift.
All right, safety.
Evening, everybody. So as far as the COVID screening, that COVID screening tool got moved up. It's on the back of the 215A now instead of back in front of the 214. So it's actually a really good piece of paper. It should be in the IEP every day. But even after this is over, it's a good thing to take off, keeping your crew buggy, keeping your rigs. It'll be good for a long time to come. Also, thank you very much. It looks like 100% participation on the mass, so that's a really good thing. We're getting there, and we'll get better and better, and hopefully we'll keep it out of camp. Parking and driving. Again, thanks, you guys. You did a great job parking tonight. We're all starting to line up on this street as more resources. We're getting more crowded. It's really important, and all of you guys did it. From last time I looked, everybody is in the dirt. Let's keep it that way. All 4 tires in the dirt. What that does, that gives you about 4 or 5 feet of bicycle lane. You're going to step off, and you just make sure when you park there tomorrow morning when you come back in that you don't step out into traffic. That's kind of our worry there. Also, and I mentioned it before, it's just when we're driving out of here, again, it's more equipment. These people are seeing all these engines go and come and go and come, and it's got to be a little irritating. There haven't been any complaints. Guys are doing a great job. I'm just throwing that out there again. Looking out there from where I'm standing, and you guys have already looked, is what a difference a day makes, and they've already talked about it. So I just want to make sure that that doesn't let anybody get complacent. And you're all professionals, you know not to, but sometimes it's just good to reiterate. The dangers are all still there. You know, you're not going to see stuff rolling down the hill at night. You know, if you do have to have an escape route that isn't in the black, it's easier to lose those if you can't see it. And if you're going to drive to a safety zone, especially on those dirt roads, you get all turned around. At least I did today. So really be careful out there. Slow down a little bit. Take care of yourselves. Watch after each other and have a safe shift.
A couple items for communications. We can clone over here. Raise your hand. Comtext. Now, is that do we need to clone, or only if you've got is it a new comp plan? Do they have to clone, or just check it? So sit in your divisions. Make sure you got the plan as stated. If you don't, go see over there. Communications can clone you. Medical, Jim Emerson.
Good evening, Jim Emerson, Medical. Nothing new on the 206, just to reiterate that all medicals are still being run through the Sequoia. And make sure that you're always familiar with your 8-line, your medical incident report. Thank you.
Any other issues related to logistics are going to be right over here taking questions. Logs, raise your hand. Over by the clone. Gotcha. They'll be over there. Finance.
Good evening. Anne Marie Carlson, Finance Section Chief for the team. Again, we are set up, finance is set up in this main building. We do ask that when you're turning in your CTRs and your shift tickets that you stay on the outside, the north side of the building, and come in the foyer, and there's a table there that says finance with a box to drop your tickets. OES is also located in there. I don't see any local government out here, but OES is still also located in there. And then we have a comp claims that arrive. So for those that might have any injury or claims, we do have someone on site. For claims, he's located in the classrooms in classroom 8, but we ask again that only one individual go in to see him to file a claim. Thank you.
All right, PIO.
Andrew Freeborn. Good evening, everyone. I'm here assisting Team 15 in the PIO shop. A couple of things. One is that we're continuing to do what we can to coordinate with local media and social media to do a couple of things. One is to educate this community so that their anxiety is low and that we can keep them safe. The second is doing all we can to highlight all of your hard work. It is noticeable to the community. When we go out to the community, we're getting a lot of feedback from them. I'm very thankful that you are here. Even tours that were given to Kern High School District employees, they were happy to see us here on their campus, and they were amazed at all the hard work that is being done in their community. So you are certainly to be commended for that. We also would like to ask if you do have pictures, videos, stories that we can highlight, send it our way. And you can always come and see us because that's where Lost and Found is as well. That's the admin building, and it's room number 3. End of report. Everyone be safe.
We have our Unified Command spokesperson, Tom Clamo.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks again for coming. Really appreciate it. I know you've heard it a bunch. A couple of things I want to go over. Number one, thanks for the work. Ton of black line going on the map tonight, and that's due to the work both today and yesterday. Really excellent job. Very difficult country. Understand there's a lot of difficulties in getting out there, getting to it. You're probably tired when you already arrived there. Thank you very much for what you've done. The other thing I want to thank you for is the mask compliance, socially distancing. It is so much better than we first got here. We really appreciate it. The scanner is now set up, our little Disneyland line that's out by the food area. We want you going through it every time before meals. It only takes just a second to go through it. It's the only one of its kind. We're the only fire that's got it. And I think it's a great tool for us moving forward. So thanks again. Have a really safe shift out there. Be careful tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.